सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। हरि ओम हरि ओम। There are three opinions, three definitions of Abhyas, three kinds of definitions of Abhyas. Then the first definition, anyatra anya dharma adhyasa, meaning imposing on a noun the property of something else. Anyway, it is a mistake that we have seen. The second definition says it is a confusion between two thoughts. I have the knowledge of the rope and also I have the knowledge of the snake. Both the forms of knowledge are there in my mind. Then, instead of seeing it just get confused, somehow I manage to see it as a snake. The thought of the snake somehow or other dominates the thought of the rope and it looks a snake. This is one explanation. Now, the error in this you can see. All right, sir, if the thought of the snake dominated the thought of the rope, and if it looks the snake, and when you come to know the rope as a rope, does it mean to say the thought of the rope dominates the thought of the snake? Is it domination or refutation? Refutation, correction. So iska problems hai. What looks close to right also need not be right. These are wrong things. Close to right, wrong. Very close to being right. Very close to being right means not right yet. Not yet right. We can add one yet there. Not yet right. You are in the process of being right, all right, but you are not yet right. You are close to right. Just in order to sound different, in order to present a different, distinct image about yourself, don't have to say. Now see, K2 S9 P19 Brahmaha iti vadanti. Some people say Yatra Yadadhyasaha, where you see something in something else, Tad Viveka Agraha Nibandanaha, it is due to, Nibandanaha means Nimittaha, it is due to not seeing the distinction between two things. But there are no two things there, there is only rope. But there are two thoughts. But I don't see the distinction. There are no two things there. So if I have to confuse one with the other, it can take place only in the mind because there is the idea of the rope, the idea of the snake. Tad viveka agraha nibandhanaha. Born of, it is determined by the non-recognition of the distinction between these two things called rope and snake, but there is no snake there. But the snake idea is in my mind. Therefore, it is a confusion between the thought of the rope and thought of the snake. What is the first definition? You are not mistaking one noun for another noun, but you are mistaking a noun to have the adjective of something else. If you go on really thinking about it, it unfolds what the right looks glorious then. To refute the blatantly wrong is not a big deal. But to refute the wrong which looks close to being right, that's refuting something which is opined as, which is viewed as close to being right, is also not right. 99 is close to being 100, but it. As children, we used to play badminton. Game ball is no game. You know that? You remember? Oh, that means as children you also played badminton. Yes, game ball is no game. How true it is. Match point is no match. Match point is no match. Let me find out another example. That marriage band, what is it called? Is band? Band doesn't make marriage. It is the Mangala Sutra that makes marriage. And therefore, listen to that. Yatra yadadhyasaha tad viveka agraha nibandhanaha brahmaha iti kechid vadanti. Now he explains this definition. This commentator nicely explains. You can follow as much as you can. Yatra yadadhyasaha yasya cha adhyasaha tayoho dvayorapi jnanam adhyasa kale vartate. Up to that. A man does have in his mind the knowledge of the real, what is imposed and where it is imposed, meaning the rope and snake both. Snake is what is imposed. Rope is where it is imposed. He has the knowledge of both. Adhyasa kale. At the time of adhyasa, he does have the knowledge of both rope and snake. Jnana dvayamidamiti vivichya agrahanattu tayorekatva grahana agraha. Then there is, because the distinction is not seen between the two pieces of knowledge, there is oneness. Tvayoho dvayorapi jnanam adhyasa kale tate jnanadvayamidamiti vivichya agrahanattu. Vivichya agrahanattu. There is no clear discerning between the two. There is no clear discerning between the knowledge of rope and knowledge of the snake. So what happens? Tayor ekatva graha. Both are seen as one. Agraha. Agraha means one. Zid. Yes, sir. Feel. A kind of agraha. Indeed, it is snake. It is called agraha. मेरे को जाना ही जाना है. That is called agraha. Fanaticism in Sanskrit is called agraha. Do you know agraha is born of agrahana? Agraha is born of agrahana, non-recognition of reality. Fire is hot, it is not agraha, it is jnana. That fire is hot is knowledge, it's not agraha. इतना आग्रह क्यों करते हैं कि fire is hot? ऐसा क्यों करते हैं? इतने आग्रह क्यों कर रहे हैं? It can be cold also, you can't say. आप इतने आग्रह क्यों कर रहे हैं? Only food appeases hunger. ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. Agraham can go. The entire fanaticism is born of agraha. You have to be a Christian to have moksha, you have to be this to become that, to go to heaven, etc. This is all what? Agraha. You have to become a devotee of Krishna, then alone you will go to Goloka. This is all agraha. This world is full of agraha. Agraha means zid, stubborn attitudes, intransigent attitudes. क्या करना है? It's a waste. He is just reeling. Such a person is not peaceful. In fact, a cow is more peaceful. Why? Because it doesn't have agraha. The cow is very peaceful. It eats grass and gives out peace. Yes. Whereas you take dates, sweet dates and almonds and cashew, etc., all the excellent dry fruits, and give out only violence. That is why please stand. Not too many. There are no exercises for happiness. There is only education for happiness. That too, spiritual education. That too, education about oneself. Education about the truth, whatever it is. Truth, which exists on its own strength. It is self-existent. Okay, tayore katva grahana graha. Now he gives an example. Yatha durasthayoho dvayoho vanaspatyoho jnatayoho viveka grahanena tayore katva grahana abhimanaha. You see two trees close to one another. You know they are two trees because you have the knowledge. But from a distance you can't see them as two, but you see them as one. एक ही, you start getting a doubt. Oh my God, एक ही है, don't mind. If somebody who doesn't know, if he sees, even though there are two trees, and one doesn't have the knowledge of one tree separate from another tree, even though that knowledge is there, but still there somehow or other, you look upon them as one tree. I have a Purvapaksha for this. You think about it. You see, if two things get confused, then I should perceive in it a bit of rope and a bit of snake. I mean, if two are seen as one, I should see in it a bit of rope and a bit of snake. Why only snake? Then you have to ask, you have to say, because the thought of the rope, the thought of the snake dominates. Okay. I have given the Purvapaksha. If you are seeing two as one, then you have to see a bit of both in that one. There is no answer. Another verse is Yathava Shukti Jnanam Anubhavatmakam Rajata Jnanam Cha Smaranatmakam. When you see the shell, it is perception, and the silver in your mind is smaranatmakam. One is perception, the other is memory. Shukti jnanam anubhavatmakam rajata jnanam cha smaranatmakam ityubhe abhijnane samichine eva. And both are right. seeing seeing the shell as shell and also the memory of Rajatam as Rajatam, both are samichinam, they are proper thoughts. But both are there in your mind. When both of them are there in the mind, and when he sees the Shuktika, Smaranatmakamityubhe api jnane samichine eva tathapi rajata jnane Varanabhimana bhangat jnanadvaya avivekacha ekameva idam rajatatmakam vastu jnatamiti buddhihi. In that what happened? Somehow it just is saying, somehow the Rajata being a memory breaks, and therefore it looks jnana. Rajata, which is thought of as memory, ceases to be a memory, suddenly it becomes the jnanam. So in the place of Shuktika, I see the Rajatu. Iti, they say, some. Who are these people who say all these Nayayikas, Vaiseshikas? There are so many philosophers in this world. There are so many philosophers. Everyone is a philosopher. He also comes up with it. Iti ubhe jnane samijine eva tatapi rajata jnane smaranabhimana bhangat jnanadvaya vivekacha ekameva idam rajatatmakam vastu jnana jnatamiti buddhihi. You see the shell, you remember the silver, somehow there is a conflict between the perception of the shell and the memory of the silver, and the memory part of the silver disappears and the same Rajatam looks, instead of continuing to appear as a memory, it becomes perception, jnana. So in the place of the shell, I see silver. Some explanation. For adhyasa, you don't have methodologies. When I miss a reality, I mistake it. Bas. और कुछ नहीं है. When I miss the truth, I can mistake it for anything. I saw. Is it a causation? How does the milk become curd? You can give a methodology, scientific method. You put some yeast in it and then it multiplies and the whole milk becomes full of yeast, becomes the curd, ferments, whatever. You can always explain. You can't really explain how the error takes place because the error doesn't take place through a process of change or any particular methodology. Causation nahi usme. The cause undergoes change to become it. ऐसा कोई प्रोसेस नहीं, कार्य कारण भाव नहीं. You see, anything that is ununderstood becomes misunderstood. Can be misunderstood for anything. For what it is misunderstood, I don't think that is important. It is misunderstood thus. And especially when one misses the truth, when if one misses the unlimited identity of one's being, and when the unlimited identity of one's being is missed, then it cannot be mistaken for something better than the unlimited. It is always mistaken for limited. Thus, and you don't have variety in limitation anyway. Where is the method? The unlimited is seen as limited. Big is limited, small is limited. When I see myself as an elephant also, it is unlimited being seen as limited. Supposing I see myself as the whole waking universe, it is the unlimited being seen as limited. Yeah. Only when it comes to the sadhi adhyasa, that is talking about the mistakes about the objects. So why you mistake the rope only for snake, not for something else? There some similarity is required. When it comes to mistaking the limited objects for something limited, when we mistake the limited for something else, another limited, then sadrishya is important. That also plays a role. Understandable change. उसमें कोई आग्रह की जरूरत नहीं, तो है ही, I don't mistake the rope for an elephant, जी. ये तो है ही, उसमें क्या है? I mistake the post for a ghost. Purusha, some man is standing there. Stena. Okay. One doesn't have to go into methodologies of how the error happens. Horror happens only by one thing, that is, any evident fact. When I don't recognize it, it looks different. Bas. Atasmin padbuddhi. But anyway, some of the philosophers try to give the methodology of an error taking place. This is how it takes place. This is how it takes place. This is how it takes place. As though you are explaining away the process of change. You understand, Okay, ji. Jnatamiti buddhihi tadevam sarvatra adhyase jnanadvaya vivekaha eva na punarekasmin aparasya tadrupasya jnanamasti titesham ashayah. Up to this and therefore, here the Vyakyakara says, those who give the second definition, what they mean is, it is never that one noun is mistaken for another noun. It is a confusion between two pieces of knowledge. It amounts to saying, I have the knowledge of myself as Brahman, and I also have the knowledge of the body, between the unlimited and the limited. So I have the knowledge of the body, I have the knowledge of the truth. Between the two knowledges, there is a confusion, and somehow or other I manage to take myself as the body. Yo Rama. Yo Rama. So, I am not trying to running down its definition, but let everybody think about it. Once you run it down, then you fail to see its flaw. See its flaw. When you see its flaw, it is run down forever. It is gone. It goes down the drain. Yes. As far as you are concerned, whoever sees the flaw of a thought, that thought for him has gone down the drain. It's a liberation from one at least. एक ब्लफ से मुक्ति है, एक ब्लफ से मुक्ति इतना बड़ी मुक्ति होती है, सारी ब्लफों से अगर मुक्ति मिलती कितनी बड़ी मुक्ति होगी। इस दुनिया में कितनी बड़ी मुक्ति होती है। And therefore, this is the second definition. Now the third definition he says, this is the third definition applies to Vedanti, Shunyavadi, both. So before I go into the third definition, I want to give a very important highlight of the first two definitions. Those who give the first definition believe that what you impose on a reality is somewhere else, is some कुछ है कहीं. If I see the snake in the rope, the snake is somewhere else. कहीं है, snake ऐसा कुछ चीज है. If I see Shuktika, Rajatam in the Shuktika, Rajatam is somewhere. The imposed is a reality. Where it is imposed is also a reality. What is imposed is also a reality. बहुत बड़ी बात है. In the first two definitions, what is imposed also is a reality. And where it is imposed, of course, is a reality. What is imposed also is somewhere else reality. Where it is imposed is a reality right there. Where it is imposed is reality right there. Whereas what is imposed is reality elsewhere. The reality. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. In the third definition, according to Vedanta, where it is imposed alone is reality. What is imposed is nowhere. Neither where it is imposed nor outside. What is imposed is neither there where it is imposed, nor it is anywhere else, nor elsewhere. और कहीं भी नहीं है. Vedanta says, what is imposed is not a reality either where you see or elsewhere. Whereas where it is imposed alone is the reality. Shunyavadi says, what is imposed is nowhere, is neither there where you see nor elsewhere. And where you impose it, that is also Shunyam. What is imposed is Shunyam. Where it is imposed also is Shunyam. Shunyamadaha Shunyamidam का अर्थ वही है जी. What is imposed is Shunyam. Shunyamadaha Shunyamidam. Shunyat Shunyamudachyate. One Shunyam comes from another Shunyam. Shunyat Shunyamadaya Shunyameva avasishyate. Only Shunyam remains. Om Ashanti, Ashanti, Ashanti. This is Shunyavadi. The day is best spent if you can break through one thought in life. The most fulfilling thing is, there is nothing that fulfills. Nothing is fulfilling in life anyway, because it doesn't mean anything. Maybe it may give you a temporary thrill, not fulfilling. Thus, the third definition is something different. Anyetu yatre dadhyasaha tasyaiva viparita dharmatva kalpanama chakshate. See, this is the third definition. What is the third definition? Anyetu. That anyetu means others. Others means the Vedantis and the Shunyavadis. What do they say? Yatra yadadhyasaha. Jaha, where something is imposed. जहाँ कुछ अध्यास किया जाता है, यत्र यदध्यासः तस्यैवा, उसी का, the very locus, the very reality where something is imposed, तस्यैवा, उस वस्तु का ही विपरीत धर्मत्वा, looking distinct from it. Viparita dharmatva means it has a different quality. It is of different nature. It is of different identity. Iti kalpanama chakshate. This imagination, this perception, seeing the very reality to be of a different nature. Seeing the same reality as of different nature, different from its own nature. Not that I bring something, some memory and then put on it. I mistake an evident thing for something other than what it is. This is the right definition, really. Because I will give you clarification. When you mistake the rope for snake, that particular snake that you are seeing there is neither there nor elsewhere. That snake is neither there nor elsewhere. That's it. After all, rope is a particular thing. Snake is a particular thing. One particular thing is mistaken for another particular thing. That is adhyadhyasa. And that particular thing called snake, where is it? That particular thing, where is it? Neither there nor anywhere. Therefore, you can't say snake is somewhere. But snake idea is, I say here, you are not seeing it as snake idea, a particular snake. Because here the reality is a particular thing. Rope is a particular thing. Rope is a particular thing. And the snake that I see in it is also a particular thing. Now that particular thing called snake that I see in the rope, where is it? Nowhere is it. Snake is not there. It's not even in memory. That is, that particular snake ka memory thodi hai. Khatam. That is why we say the idea of snake is in memory. That particular snake. Similarly, when a person sees himself as the body and the rest of the universe is not a particular thing. The whole is seen in the whole. Because division is the whole. Subject-object division is the whole creation in the division-free truth. Because you can't add anything to the division in the creation. Did you hear that? You can't add anything to the division in the creation. Even if you add anything, it will be a part of division. When you see the snake space, it is subject-object division. If you see the air, it is subject-object division. You see anything for that matter, subject-object division. See heaven, subject-object division. Hell, subject-object division. See Bhagavan sitting there, subject-object division. Can God create something extra? There is only a sense of division. If there is no sense of division, there is no object. Therefore, a sense of division is created in the Advaitam, in the non-undivided truth. Now I am telling, a sense of division is the whole of the creation imposed in the truth which is the whole. Therefore, what is seen, what is imposed is the whole. And where it is imposed? Whole. Don't say only the body. The whole. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. Please understand this. What is imposed is the whole. The whole in the form of the form. The whole the creation. And where it is imposed is the whole the being. What is imposed is the whole. There is no particularity here. There is no particularity. You can't say one particular universe is imposed on that. Shoddy thinking. After studying all Nyaya, you can't be shoddy thinking. What is particular universe? You can't add anything to the sense of division. You can't add anything to the sense of limitation. Can Bhagavan add something to the limitation? He creates sense of limitation. Supposing he adds something to it, it is still within sense of limitation. Therefore, sense of division accounts for the whole. You can't add anything to the division, meaning that is the whole creation. Division, sense of division is the whole of the creation. Even if you are looking at a form, that seer, seen division is the whole. You don't have to go all over the universe to feel the whole. That's simple. Sense of division. When you are looking at the tree, that is the whole. In every perception, the creation is the whole. It is the whole. I am taking a cup of tea. I am aware of the taste. That is the whole creation. Very profound. That is the whole, because there is sense of division. Subject-object division. I go to heaven, sense of division. Sense of perceiver perceived. Pramatru pramana prameya bhavaha. If you want some migraine in the form of technical term. We want some migraine. This is the migraine. Pramatru pramana prameya bhava. Seer, seen, seeing division. There is a seer, there is seen, there is a means of seeing. A means was drashtu drishya bhava, subject object. Sense of division. There is no division, it is only relation. Gauna ekatvam, but still man looks at it as a sense of division. That sense of division is felt in every perception, and that is the whole of the creation. Therefore the wholeness is not in the form of the size. Baba. Yeah. The wholeness of the creation is not in the form of the size. The wholeness of the creation is in the form of, in the form of division. The hugeness of the size doesn't make it the whole. Hugeness. Man always says, itna. I will tell you. There was a person in somewhere. एक कहानी आती है, कहीं कहानी आती है, वो कहानी करती है एक person से. He always used to boast of the money that he had, the land that he had. So somebody came, looking for a bridegroom for his daughter. Okay? And the bridegroom's father is that person who always boasts of it. So the daughter's father came. This boastful person, he tells them, ये सब हमारा ये है. And the other person says, आपका हाथ यहीं तक जा रहा है. तो आगे नहीं जा रहा है, इसका मतलब थोड़ा ही है. नहीं है. Sarcastically. Human beings cannot express cuteness except through their hands. That's all. इतना है, कुछ भी नहीं है. Size is nothing there. You can never express wholeness, please. Why? Because you can't measure the whole. Division is not a measure. You can't measure the division. You can measure the object from which I have a sense of division, but I can't measure the division. I can't weigh the division. I can weigh the object, I can measure the object, but I can't weigh the division, I can't measure the division. It is actually non-existent, appears to be existent. Mithya has no. If the division has no, just listen to this. If the division cannot be measured, if the division cannot be weighed, it has no weight, it has no length, it has no lifespan also. It doesn't age. Division doesn't age and die. Division doesn't age and die. If that is the nature of the division, the divided is a part of the division, the same quality should apply to that also. The objects also cannot be weighed, have no size, even though they look to have. Where are the objects minus the division? That means the division includes. Therefore, what I am telling is, rope is a particular thing, snake is a particular thing, and in a particular thing, another particular thing is imposed, and that particular thing is nowhere. Even though these philosophers say it is somewhere, that's wrong. It is a shoddy analysis. That particular snake is neither there nor anywhere. So now one doesn't have to fear, Bhashyakara has given the example of Rajju Sarpa, but these philosophers have shown a flaw in it. No. Because that particular snake that I see in the rope is neither there nor anywhere. I can impose a particular thing in another particular thing, but life is not a particular thing, it is the whole. Even an amoeba's life is whole. It's complete, its perception is complete. It is living the whole creation. It's living, it's the entire creation. Therefore every jiva is living the whole creation. The whole creation. The rich man is living his whole creation. Even though we think he enjoys more this and that, kahin bahut jagah jate hain, he goes here, there. We think really a rich man lives more, but actually even a poor man lives the whole creation. And a rich man also lives the whole creation. You can't see it, he lives the whole creation plus something, which nahi hai. It's all Bhranti. These are all tremendous, terrific illusions. Terrific illusions. It's like, like when you are dreaming, you are flying. What an illusion. What an illusion. In dream you are dreaming to fly. Is it not an illusion? You may just call it a dream. Oh, I only dreamt. What are the implications? Oh my God. You can dream, you can see yourself flying. Because it's a daily occurrence, we take it for granted. That's why Vedanta draws our attention to the dream. Hey, don't take it lightly. You are dreaming. What terrific illusion that you have. If a dream can be an illusion, waking also can be an illusion. Why not? Every division is an illusion. Therefore, now the Vyakhyakāra gives an explanation. Asmin pakshe tu ayam viseshaha. In the third definition, the following is the highlight. Asmin pakshe tu ayam viseshaha. इस पक्ष में ये विशेष है. क्या है? अन्यत्र अन्य धर्मवादी विवेका अग्रह निबंधन भ्रमवादी च समारोपित वस्तुनः कुत्रचित् कथंचित् सत्वम् अंगीकुरुतः. In the case of the first two definitions, the givers of the definition accept the reality of what is imposed elsewhere. अंगीकुरुतः, अंगीकार स्वीकार करते हैं कि उसका भी सत्य है कहें. अन्यत्र अन्य धर्मवादी विवेक ग्रह निबंधन भ्रमवादी समारोपित वस्तुनः कुत्रचित् कथंचित्, कहीं कैसे भी हो, somewhere in some form it is there. कथंचित् सत्वम् अंगीकुरुतः परमार्थ सतो हि कुसुमस्य. परमार्थ सतो हि कुसुमस्य लौहित्यं सान्निध्यवशात् स्फटिके संक्रामतीति प्रथम पक्षे अभिमानः. In the prathama paksha, in the first definition, the abhimana is, the agraha is that due to the proximity of the flower, due to the proximity of the colored flower with the spatika, the crystal, sanidhyavashat spatike sankramati, and it crosses over to the crystal. Therefore, the spatika, the colorless crystal, is seen to have the quality of a flower. Thus, did you hear this? The crystal, the colorless crystal. Don't say, I am seeing the colorless crystal as colored. Don't say that. The colorless crystal is seen to have the quality that belongs to the flower. It is there somewhere. Uska satya hai. The color that you are seeing in the crystal is somewhere in the flower. It is not non-existent. Kahin hai. That is the first. Prathama paksha abhimana. Abhimana means, intransigence. Abhimana means agraha. Agraha means, all abhimanas in the society is like that. Abhimana. You don't want to leave it. That's called abhimana. Bada abhimana hai कि मैं बड़ा ये हूँ वो अभिमान है. I am coming from Oxford University. It becomes what? Abhiman. बड़ा अभिमान. If he is from Oxford University. Ask him to spell phenyl. नहीं समझा? Ask him to spell phenyl. He will not be able to. बाकी सब मालूम है, but phenyl मालूम नहीं. Therefore, this is all abhiman hai. If you don't have the abhimana, you are ever the truth. You minus abhimana, the truth, peaceful. आराम से जियो. Peaceful. There is simple truth, peaceful truth. Abhimana, wrong ideas. Anyway, now I am going to complete this also. Lauhitya means redness. Shukti rajatayoho paramartha satoreva grahana smarane smarana abhimana bhangatu grahana smaranayoho avivekatu tatre katva kalpanamiti tad Dvitiya pakshe abhimanaha. In the second definition, the abhimana is shell is an object of thought, silver also is an object of thought, is an object of memory. But between the two there is a confusion and I see it as Rajatam. That means the Rajatam that I see in the silver that I see in a shell is somewhere real. The color that I see in this crystal is somewhere real. He says Kathanchit, Putrachit Kathanchit. In some form it is there. Kahin na kahin hai. Kisi na kisi prakar hai ji. But in this paksha, atra tu pakshe samarupitasya sattvameva napyupagamyate. But in the third definition, the reality of what is imposed is not accepted either where you see or anywhere. That is life. That is life. The life that I feel, the embodiment that I feel, I see in myself. Please understand this. I am seeing embodiment in myself. Neither it is actually there in myself nor elsewhere. Where am I seeing the embodiment is important. I am seeing a thought of embodiment in my being. Like I am seeing the snake in the rope. I am seeing the dream in myself. All illusions take place in oneself. And those illusions which appear in myself, they are neither existent where I see, nor they are existent elsewhere. Why? Because there is no elsewhere to the self. There is no place outside the truth. Like the sound is seen in silence as an illusion, let us say. It is an illusion anyway. And that sound is neither in silence nor outside to silence, because there is no outside to silence. There is no outside to silence. There is no outside to silence. Similarly, there is no outside to the self. Able to follow? Thus, in the third paksha, this is the great difference. And what a difference! And what a difference! What is imposed is neither there where I see nor elsewhere. Whereas in the case of the others, what is seen, they accept reality. What is imposed is real elsewhere. It may not be there, but it is elsewhere. This manner, the definition will continue. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnam Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.